Cinebois to Cinemen, episode 105.
105.
Hope you're well, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. This week, Project Hail Mary.
Finally, it's with us.
It is. Seen it as soon as it came out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't see it yesterday, because that would have been too late.
It would have been. Yeah, that would be really embarrassing.
Yeah. Although if we had seen it yesterday and it would be a packed cinema, I'd be feeling pretty good about that.
That's true, yeah. Maybe we're not as kind of like comically late as we usually are.
Yeah. Seems to have.
That was a surprise, that.
It was, yeah. We got...
Not that I thought the film was, I had any sort of preconception to dislike the film, and that sort of influenced my understanding of how well it was doing. But I just mean that it'd been out for quite a while. And I don't know, like you say, it was nice.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
We were forced to sit at the front.
It was,
which is a rare thing.
Questionable seating. Yeah, the adverts were worse than the film. I actually think the film was kind of shot for IMAX anyway, so it didn't matter quite so much. I quite enjoyed it in the end.
Yeah, I did.
We were uncomfortably close.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. It's a grievance to have with Showcase Avonmeads. It's like the gap between B and A.
Yeah, right. The placement.
Bring A back a bit. It felt like I could pretty much like kiss the screen.
Yeah, I don't think the architect was a cinephile.
By leaning, I mean. I could kiss the screen from the back if I walked, but I mean if I could literally from my chair.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you don't have to get up like you usually do. So, yeah.
A few people left, didn't they?
They did.
To our right, and that I think they did what we did and just thought, fuck it, we'll have to.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think they have a film podcast. They're not as important as we are, but they like realised there was a screening half an hour later and left. So
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
and then some other people also decided to sit in a vacant row behind us.
You were eyeing it up.
Yeah, I was a bit.
I wasn't decisive enough. I said it was all right, and then I see them. Well, as soon as I saw them get up and do it, I regretted it.
Okay, wow.
But it worked. Like you say, it was fine.
Yeah. So if we talk about the spectacle a little bit too much, it's because we were right in front of the screen. So
You're basically in space.
I felt like I was in space watching this film.
Sci-fi films, or perhaps more so sci-fi apocalypse films.
Yeah,
Might
definitely.
Have a little natter about those.
Yeah. There's a couple of examples I can think of.
Yeah, a lot. There seems to be at least one every year.
Yeah,
Feels
that's true.
anyway.
Actually, yeah, definitely.
Definitely since the kind of success of Interstellar. Anyway,
yeah. Lofty, high concept, science-based science fiction.
Yes. Most of which I have seen, but really can't remember a lot of. So it should be really interesting to listen to.
I remember a lot about Interstellar. So
I can remember what I thought about a lot. So you'll have to remind me. Hand my hold. Hold my hand.
Lovely.
Good.
Let's do it.
Questing the cinematic void. So I guess one thing that Project Hail Mary is very much indebted to, which I think a lot of kind of more contemporary sci-fi films are indebted to, is the idea of taking this lofty concept, space and all of the kind of complexities and the kind of unknowableness of it all.
Yeah.
Situating that within a kind of apocalyptic disaster that often sort of underscores just how kind of minute and irrelevant human beings are.
Yes.
But then, pulling from underneath your feet...
Yeah.
Sorry, that makes no sense.
No.
But alongside that, running alongside that, is a very personal human story that kind of counterbalances the kind of loftiness that tends to come with the sci-fi.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about... I was sort of hesitant to say the first film to do that, but I think a lot of these films are very much influenced by like Stalker.
Okay. Yeah.
Something that, obviously a huge, big concept, very kind of, for the lack of a better term, arty sci-fi film, psychological sci-fi film.
Yeah.
And Tarkovsky kind of did away with the kind of broader themes about humanity to focus on character. And I wonder if that's, again, I'm not going to say the first example, but it feels like a really pivotal influence on Nolan, James Gray, and Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Are you talking about Solaris?
Yeah. What did I say?
You said Stalker. Sorry.
Shit.
No, yeah.
No.
I kind of thought for a minute. I was like, well, I guess Stalker's a sci-fi. I suppose so.
Yeah,
I was like,
Solaris got mixed up. There we go.
yeah, no, but no, you're right. I was just thinking about Solaris actually. Yeah, that aspect of it definitely, I think, carries up because obviously you have like 2001, which is kind of the opposite of that. It sort of does away
It's
with
very distant.
yeah.
It
It's
is more
quite
about
cold.
broader things.
Yeah. And then so the combination of those ideas is where you get your interstellars, your kind of adastras like you with James Gray and and some Project Hail Mary and even arguably, I mean, The Martian less so because it's less. I think The Martian is less lofty and more focused on just like kind of planetary sci-fi, I suppose. But still, the idea about visiting Mars is kind of quite lofty, I suppose, in and of itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I think it's such an easy like writing exercise, I suppose. It's like these huge. The vast emptiness, a lot of which we don't know a lot about still. There's a lot of sort of unknown science. Is it eternal? Are we therefore eternal? That kind of thing. But then, and you can forget humanity in that path. But then you also, because it's cinema, because it's film, you also have to remind the audience of their humanity at the same time and kind of like bring it all back to what's really, I guess, what's really important, which is in quite a lot of these films, it turns out to be each other. Which,
Yes.
That's always the kind of ultimate message.
Yeah, I guess there's something like kind of liberating about these kind of existential threats from above, right? These unknowable entities. It should inspire humans to kind of realize how, I guess, pointless a lot of their kind of like planetary or geopolitical disagreements are, and that's quite a big theme, I think, in Project Hail Mary.
Yeah. They touched on it a few times,
and I think a lot of other films, but as you say, it always comes back to it. So maybe they're not necessarily two things that thematically don't fit. I guess you could say that the kind of the realization of the kind of how potentially insignificant we can also be quite liberating.
Yes, yeah, exactly, yeah. And that's always the sort of ultimate theme. Is there's a human side to a story, just like there's a human side to pretty much every film. And you can stray away from that idea as well with slightly more abstract science fiction like High Life. Kind of strayed away from the idea that humans are all encompassing and warm and one. I think that film actually was quite cynical about humanity, ultimately, and sort of how we would deal with things we can't understand. But that wasn't a blockbuster.
No.
Unlike,
the big tentpole sort of summer movies. Summer? Maybe?
Yeah. Well,
Autumn.
somewhere adjacent, yeah.
They're in the same year.
Yeah.
They're in a year. In a day. You're right. They're big sort of tentpole blockbuster releases, so it's in their interest to have a heavy emphasis on positive representations of humanity.
Yeah.
I think, like you say, that when you go more abstract or off the beaten path, may I say,
yes,
you're going to find films that are perhaps a bit more cynical.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought Project Hail Mary had a little bit of cynicism in it, which was kind of actually quite welcome.
Yeah, definitely.
In part because I'm a sort of pallid little cynical man-child, but also because I think it's important that blockbuster films don't just sort of batter you with optimism, because that can have an adverse effect for me anyway.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
Because of the aforementioned man-child cynicism. But no, I just think I think it makes for a more sort of thematically richer, more interesting and engaging experience.
An acknowledgement that we're not perfect for a start. I think.
Yeah.
And because I think the sweetness and the saccharineness of these sort of overwhelming messages about how important we are to each other can be, quite overwhelming.
Yeah.
So it's good to tip the scales a little bit. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on with regards to what actually happens in Project Hail Mary. Quite a fleeting moment, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it carried a lot of weight. I guess the first film that I can think of, certainly in more contemporary memory, that fits that bill, and arguably was the film that kind of I don't want to say sort of resurrected people's interest in space, because that's not true, but I think the Nolan effect.
Yeah,
with his
right.
films, it just seems to pull people in from all walks of life, irrespective of the film he makes.
Completely.
And I think Interstellar was, for a lot of people, their favourite Nolan film.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It stood the test of time. People talk about it. I think people talk about it more than like Dunkirk, for example.
What's your favourite Nolan film?
My favourite Nolan film, I would still probably say, ultimately, The Prestige.
Okay,
because I really like that. I like its. I actually thought the third act was quite abrasive the first time I saw it, but ultimately I thought it was It's the boldest and most understated of his films, and I think really well written as well. But what about you?
Dunkirk, probably.
Yeah, I remember. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
But Interstellar has a staying power, I think. And for its flaws as well. I was having a debate with my colleague yesterday about the flaws of Interstellar because he'd finally got around to watching it, and he thought that the way that they kind of explained the scientific concepts as the film drew on became less and less interesting.
Okay.
So it started with, portraying and giving its audience quite clear descriptions and definitions, expository definitions about like space-time, like and quite difficult ideas. And then it got to time dilation, which is what happens when you get too close to something so vast. And he sort of said it sort of lost him a little bit, and he didn't find, because he found the science of it the most engaging part.
Interesting. Okay, yeah.
A lot of people have the exact opposite problem with it, is that it's too expository.
That's my problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason I did a film degree. I'm not a sciencey person. I obviously admire it greatly and admire people that work in the field, of course, but I'm not clever enough. Is the real reason. No, I think... I think it boils not necessarily down to the science, but I guess it's about the narrative framework of blockbuster storytelling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
First and foremost.
Yeah.
Which obviously has to let the audience know what's happening. So there's always going to be lines of dialogue in films where you think, no one would really ever say that.
Yeah,
unless
okay.
they're in a film.
Yeah.
And it's, guiding the audience through it. And I guess, it's... to kind of soften my own criticism, I guess these themes aren't common knowledge. The science isn't common knowledge.
No, definitely wasn't back then. I think a lot of I think it's brought a lot of it to the forefront. Yeah. More people know about it now. Yeah.
And I know there was quite a lot of effort on the part of those involved with Interstellar to try and make certainly the visual side of space and the science behind it accurate.
Yeah, as accurate as we know. Yeah.
Which is commendable. I just think there's... I think we say it's a lot about Nolan, but he occupies a really interesting territory in the landscape of Hollywood. I think I've softened in my negativity towards him.
Yeah,
but I do still feel that he is very much, he's shackled by the enormity of his budget, right? The audience has to know exactly what's going on, even if they still don't understand it. I think he's quite good at duping audiences into thinking they don't get it.
Yeah, right.
More with Inception, I guess. But
yeah.
I just think sometimes it kind of feels like he's doing intellectual wheelies.
Yeah.
And I find like a lot of the great sci-fis, they don't really rely too much on exposition a great deal. Like Solaris, there's not huge reams of interaction about... I mean, there's a philosophical debate in the sort of middle section of the film, which I guess you could get pretty easily lost in, but, they don't spend too much time talking about the scientific nitty-gritty.
No.
Whereas that happens a lot in Interstellar, I remember.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not sure it's always needed, really.
Okay, yeah. I think it would invite me to read about said concepts a bit more had it not been explained to me in the film with the use of a pen and some paper, and
that little robot.
Yeah, Tars.
He does a lot of exposition, doesn't he?
Huge amounts. Yeah, 'cause he's an all-knowing robot.
I got a bit sick of him.
He's the kind of the cute character in it. in the side. There has to be a cute character.
Yes, we were talking about this in the car journey home yesterday.
Yeah.
There's a kind of thing that blockbuster films do is if they want to kind of, it's the same reason like people put dogs in films.
It's a mascot.
Yeah, it's something to connect to, like on a kind of narrative level, it makes it more palatable. People going, it's the same thing with sci-fi. There has to be a cute thing. Project Hail Mary does this as well.
Oh yeah, big
has
time.
to be a cute little creature for audiences to connect to.
Leans heavily on it, actually.
Yeah, and the cynic in me thinks that's also kind of a marketing and merchandising opportunity. Although I'd be very surprised if there's Project Hail Mary action figures going around.
Yeah, I mean, anyone with a gravel driveway, you can go out and get your own.
That's true.
So,
you can make it. That's a good point. Yeah, in a way, that kind of counteracts what I'm saying, really. But I think I'm thinking more broadly. Marvel, Star Wars. We saw the Mandalorian film trailer.
Yeah, we
that
did.
Little green Yoda, Grogu, whatever his name is. I haven't seen Mandalorian, so I don't know. But he is become like this big cultural.
Big merchandising
image,
opportunity, yeah.
Almost like a minion. He's adjacent to like a minion in terms of this bizarre cultural impact that he had.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that a lot of kind of sci-fi films tend to have. They have to have some kind of, like you say, a mascot, something cutesy. If all else baffles you and you're a bit bored, at least there's something cute to look at. And then your kids are going to have a go at you if you don't buy them a Happy Meal with the toy that's, a replica of it,
Yeah.
that doesn't move because it's shit. No. But do you know what I mean? Like,
yes, I do. Yeah.
That's the cynic in me. And I think this is something that when we talk about the things we probably weren't so hot on about Hail Mary, there are hangovers from the kind of dominant modes of blockbuster storytelling that do kind of slightly mar the film's overall message.
Oh yeah, definitely agree.
And I guess perhaps not to the same extent as not Inception, as Interstellar, because he's not particularly cute. He's just like a fridge, isn't he?
Yeah. I think if it's a 12A, so if you drag your kid to see it, they're going to be like, if nothing else, I like the robot.
Does his legs move like that?
Yeah, they're dynamic. He's made of like this special metal that kind of like breaks apart into cuboids and
right.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting, I suppose.
Yeah,
but yeah, and it has a robotic voice and it talks and it's got a humor setting, right? That's that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Actually, quite similar to the Rocky character in the way that it sort of interacts with the human characters. Interstellar does toe that line a little bit differently. I think Project Hail Mary is more guilty of pandering to a slightly younger audience than Interstellar. I think that's the one advantage to Nolan is, it's a 12A, but it's an adult film. Oppenheimer was a 12A, but like fucking hell, like 12-year-old isn't going to be like bowled over by Oppenheimer, are they? Well, I don't know, maybe they are. But yeah, I think
was it a 12? Hey,
yeah, Interstellar was. Maybe not Oppenheimer. No, that was a 15. Yeah,
because there's a few quite saucy scenes.
Yeah.
Superfluous saucy scenes, but they're in there.
Yeah. There are actually. No, you're right. That one was a 15. But Interstellar was a 12A for sure, definitely.
Because that was the first film he did without Warner Brothers.
Oh yeah, Oppenheimer. Yeah, it was. Yeah, he had a little falling out because they stopped releasing. Because of COVID, I think they stopped releasing stuff in cinemas. Fair play. And the Odyssey's Universal as well. They tried to get him back, and he's like, absolutely not. Yeah.
Big blow for them, I imagine.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Interstellar is, because I really enjoy watching it. It's like I probably watch it about once every 2 years, and I know it. I definitely acknowledge its flaws. I think the weakness lies mainly in the father-daughter stuff. Although, admittedly, it's also the emotional backbone of the film, and I think it's not a weak backbone. It's just it sort of plays second fiddle to the science stuff, and by the end of the film, when the science stuff becomes really abstract, then it kind of takes over, and then the sort of third act stuff with the aged daughter who's about to basically, she's on a deathbed, and her dad comes back to visit her because he's been living in a different time to her, kind of thing, all takes place. And that is sort of when the film, I think, is at its weakest, is just when it does away with the science stuff, the interesting science stuff, and kind of falls entirely into the like, oh, love is what is binding us together. Do you remember that? The motif, because we don't know what's in the middle of a black hole, and like that is the sort of limit of Kip Thorne, the guy who worked on the film, Nolan. That's sort of the ceiling of his knowledge, because nobody knows what's inside them. And so I think that's when Nolan took over with his pen and was like, I'm just going to make it about love. It's all about love. Oh. And yeah, that's sort of, for me, that's where Interstellar...
It's his most emotionally charged film, isn't it? Because a lot of his films are pretty devoid of like love, like proper love, like lovey-doveyness.
Yeah,
his characters are in love. Inception has the wife.
Yeah, but
I mean, that's so sterile.
That's just a motivation. I don't think.
Yeah,
it's really,
yeah.
I mean, she. Yeah, they're quite cold.
I remember he obviously says this a lot, but he dreams in great cityscapes.
Yeah.
What his relationships like?
Yeah. I built this sort of paradise for us. It's just a normal city with a train going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is quite. He's tendency to be quite a cold filmmaker. Actually, Oppenheimer had that a little bit. I don't think it was very. I think it was pretty cold in the way it analysed Oppenheimer's relationships.
I think it was cold in how it analysed the impact of what he created. I mean, I was quite taken with it when I first saw it, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought, you could have, I don't know, it didn't do
leave
enough,
a lasting impression. Okay.
No, it didn't do enough to kind of explore, what the impact of that was, not just on him.
Yeah.
I know the film is about him, but the reason there's a film being made about him is because of nukes, right? And that's that's the draw. I'm not as interested in I guess you need the other character stuff, because I often lament biopics don't have the kind of imperfection in, so I need to be careful to contradict myself too much. But I think that's the reason he's there, and I think there could have been a bit more focus on that. But anyway.
Yeah.
And that's why, conversely, the film was, Japan really didn't like it at all.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah. For obvious reasons, really, when you think about it.
I can understand that. Fair enough, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interstellar. It's a funny old... I think someone described it as a flawed masterpiece, and I think that's true for me. Because I think it could have done with a lot of work, but it does work for me despite that, and I will always welcome watching it despite its 161-minute runtime.
It's a longie.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's one of his most successful films, despite whatever grievances I might have about how it's constructed and how it lays out the science and its kind of coldness and incongruence. It's pretty impressive that film did as well as it did, given the fact it's quite sciencey, and 160 minutes long. I mean,
yeah.
The Nolan effect, man. There's something he does. I think he hits that sweet spot. I think he is very good at making people think they're watching something really clever.
Yeah,
I think he does. He gives his audiences an ego boost.
His USP is authenticity, isn't it?
Yeah,
or the illusion of authenticity.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not always quite sold on that, but as a filmmaker that's kept people interested in something slightly loftier than what you get in 99.9, well, not 99, probably 90% of blockbuster movies. I guess you have to give him credit for that, regardless of what my personal reservations are.
I want to see him make a film on a Canon 5D. I really would be interested to see him tackle.
I think that part of him's gone.
I know.
The closest he had from that was anything before Memento.
Yeah.
Well, Insomnia, I guess, isn't that grandiose, is it, in its scope?
No, that's very cold, that film. That's incredibly clinical, actually, even down to its visual stylings. And I know a lot of his films are quite blue. But yeah, they'll show on 35mm, I think, Insomnia. I'd love for him to do a sort of weird GoPro movie or something. Here's 20 million. You're only getting 20, Chris. To Christopher Nolan, 20 million is like 50p.
Yeah.
What the fuck do I do with this?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, maybe that's a bit harsh. But yeah.
I don't think... I can't see him being sort of pushed away from that realm because he's, largely, broadly speaking, successful.
Yeah. Do you think he'll ever do another science fiction film again? Do you think... I mean, a lot of directors only ever do one. That's quite well
I think it'd be
known.
weird if he did more than one.
Yeah.
I don't know. He doesn't really tend to do... obviously Batman films aside.
Yeah, it doesn't repeat himself.
He does kind of like a period or like a certain genre, and he moves on, doesn't he?
Yeah. And the next
Although
one-
you could argue there's a lot of kind of similarities between Tenet and Inception.
yeah, that's true. They're both sort of
Inception-
abstract spy thrillers.
Yeah, and Tenet's just too much Nolan.
I really didn't like Tenet, actually. I've seen it a couple of times now, and I really don't like it. That's probably one of my that's my least favourite Nolan film.
There's something I kind of admire how, I don't know, like it's the least hand-holding Nolan film.
Yeah, I just think
it is hand-holding, but you can't really hear it because the sound is nice.
Yeah.
That's quite a common theme of his films, actually. Like,
And then there's a
Dark
weird...
Knight Rises with Bane and all that kind of stuff. The sound design's occasionally a bit like, what the fuck?
He's not a huge fan of ADR, so he'll use the on-set sound. And the reason you do ADR is because you can't hear the on-set sound. But he'll persevere with it and mix it that way, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
And, if you've got a Dolby Atmos theatre, then you'll be all right watching Tenet.
This is true.
But like most people obviously have like a stereo speaker television.
That piece of shit.
No, I don't know. I went like that when I did that. Sorry, I've got the
He's
exact
slagging
same.
off my TV. He does it all the time.
Where's the soundbar, mate? What the fuck's the soundbar? I don't have a soundbar. No, bet Nolan's got a soundbar.
Yeah. What a prick.
Yeah.
Ad Astra.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're quite.
I loved Ad Astra.
Ad Astra.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was. I mean, from what I remember, I always admire films that are original properties that are high budget, with a star and everything, but don't shy away from kind of leaning slightly more heavily into the abstract as well, which it definitely did with the Neptune stuff, definitely did with the moon scenes as well.
Yeah.
And there's a real dynamism to the camera work. I'm thinking the opening scene where he's falling down the space elevator.
Yeah.
I just remember visually Ad Astra was a real treat with enough sort of lofty, ambitious ideas to prop it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, there's a bit more darkness there. I think Nolan, to keep going back to him, but I think you're right that he definitely angles his films more towards the adult side of 12A, but I think he also understands he has to sort of
Yeah.
he knows kids will be coming along, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Ad Astra, was that a 12A actually, thinking about it? I can't remember.
12A or 15. It had that scene with the monkeys and it was quite vicious. So I imagine maybe a 15, I'm not sure. We should look it up.
I'm going to now.
Okay. I think... I mean, James Gray's a fascinating filmmaker. Like,
I really like The Lost City of Z as well.
that's really good. Yeah, he's done quite a few good, decent films. But, again, he's only ventured into space once,
12A?
Fuck!
Yeah.
There we go.
That film felt less concerned with entertaining kids, though. I mean, I guess you could argue the action sequences, but even then, they're impressive because of the equipment to doing them in a kind of on the moon.
Yeah,
and the way that affects the way the action sequences play out.
And the mix as well, the sound mix.
Yeah,
really
they're not like
interesting.
action sequences in the sense that, that they're kind of like bright and bombastic. And
Yeah, it's not like Speed Racer or something. I don't know where that one came into my head.
No,
But yeah.
fair enough.
No, I admire Ad Astra, and I think what I liked about it the most is that it stayed in our solar system, so it stayed in a quite well-known scientific arena. So it could really, whereas like Interstellar like had patchy moments with like floating clouds, like ice clouds and stuff, that kind of, they're playing fast and loose with the science because nobody knows if this stuff works or not. Whereas with Ad Astra, you're on the moon, you're on Neptune. Look, we know a lot about these planets, and so the science can be interwoven into the screenplay quite nicely. I thought.
Yeah, I did think it's a lot lighter on that, and it focuses almost more on character. It's a very difficult thing to juggle, and I think, like as we sort of said at the start, you're freed by not being a blockbuster in that sense, because you can get away with being a bit more like, well, I'm either going to commit fully to the science, or I'm just going to like leave it more to kind of abstract camera work or vague discussions, because audiences aren't like, I don't know what's going on, and that's a generalization, but that's how I assume people in Hollywood think when they're kind of trying to get blockbusters off the ground, or if they're giving notes, they're going, we don't understand.
Yeah. I'm acting as an audience member here, and I can't figure out what's going on, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that.
That kind of conditioning where we're almost like we have to know exactly what's going on at all times.
More than once.
Yeah, and it has a pretty, it can have a pretty damning impact on how people view things that are a bit more sedate.
Yeah.
Go, nothing happened. It's like lots of stuff happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, it invites you to read between the lines and interpret it your own way, maybe, sometimes.
I mean, Adastra is probably not the definitive example of that per se, but I think I admired that more. I think it felt freer than Nolan. Gray felt freer to me than Nolan did in terms of juggling those things in a more sort of convincing way and not feeling like I was being, look at me.
Yeah.
12-year-olds here and I'm being smart, So,
do you remember the emotional crux of that film? If there
it's a
was
father-son relationship.
Yeah, okay. So it's still
His dad, Tommy Lee Jones, he's out like on a mission, isn't he, to find intelligent life?
Yes, by Neptune.
Yes.
And he goes to see him.
And he finds out that there's like a mutiny, spoilers, and he killed them all.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So he kind of ventures into more interesting emotional territory.
Darker as well, that's dark. That's darker stuff, Yeah. And obviously, and I think in order to cover up the government, I guess, concocted this story about him being a hero. So it's about the kind of way, ideas, notions around heroism and what that actually means, and I guess around kind of like ideas of heroism that are sort of constructed by other people with an agenda behind it,
Yeah,
and how that intersects with ideas around fatherhood and or a father-son relationship, in a sort of cliched sense. I guess a lot of sons kind of look up to their dads.
Yeah.
And not all the time.
See them as sort of flawless in many ways.
Yeah, you deify them. Like the same way you do with, like, you're more likely probably to do it with your granddad, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
These kind of ethereal beings, And the idea of that playing out as an adult, between two adults, that struck a chord a lot more than the relationship Matthew McConaughey has with his kids.
Yeah. Because the Interstellar...
It's got a bit...
Yeah.
Weepy. Too weepy. I don't know. Maybe, I'm too hard-shelled. Perhaps.
Yeah, because it set itself up in an interesting way. Abandonment. That was effectively what he did. He abandoned her, and he came to really regret that. But then the magic gargantua black hole ghost stuff came into play, and it sort of crumbled. So the bit of him saying like "Don't go," well, that's great stuff in Interstellar. But then it just fizzled out when he was able to communicate with her.
When he came back to Earth,
Yeah.
It'd have been a lot more bolder if he didn't come back.
Yeah, I genuinely, I agree. I mean, it would have made half the money, but like I think that would have made for a better film for sure.
Yeah. Just him trapped behind that bookshelf.
Oh. And still has the 160-minute runtime of him just being like, well, what now? Do you remember watching Gravity at all? Another Cuarón film. Second podcast
vaguely
in a row I've mentioned Cuarón.
Yeah, you mentioned it a few times.
I like it. Gravity's an interesting one because that is very... I mean, it has an expository moments about her losing her daughter, I believe. Sandra Bullock's character, that is. I actually think it could have done without any of that stuff.
Again, it's that emotional connection, isn't it? It's the idea that audiences can't just connect to the immediacy of a situation.
Yeah.
There has to be there has to be some kind of trauma or psychological scarring that we can connect to.
I think that was a weak moment in Gravity, and an otherwise quite good film, I thought. There's a really wonderful moment where she is trying to contact Houston, but the radio frequencies are taking her to like a farm in China, and she's like, I just want to hear your dogs. So I remember her saying like that was a really touching moment, because you can have emotion in there, but the emotion it doesn't have to, but I think it works so much better in Gravity when, like you say, it's about the immediacy and about that time and that place and about her wanting to get home, basically.
I guess it helps that the film is set over a comparatively shorter period of time.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, something perhaps a bit closer to home as well. I don't know. Being obviously just in the Earth's atmosphere.
Yes, literally. Yeah. I like Gravity a lot, but I thought the character background stuff was not needed, and George Clooney was far too charismatic in it. He should have been like More like he is in the Solaris remake.
Oh yeah, fucking hell yeah, I forgot about that.
Bit of a drip.
Yeah, probably why that film didn't do so well.
Yeah. I've mixed feelings about that film. I think
I've
it's
not
got.
seen that for a long old time. I think I watched that when I was far too young.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a slow burn. I
Yeah,
mean, like the original, admittedly. Cool soundtrack. Really nice Cliff Martinez soundtrack.
Oh yeah. I remember him. Yeah, I was going through his work. Sometimes I just do that. Was Cliff Martinez? No,
Yeah.
just generally looking at film soundtracks and yeah.
Yes.
He did Moon as well. Is that Cliff Martinez?
Clint Mansell.
I always get those two fellas mixed up.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
No.
No, I don't.
Moon.
Help.
There you go. Moon. That's a good
Yeah.
good one. I quite like Moon actually.
Yeah.
It's quite a low budget sort of affair. You can tell at moments it's kind of
Hamstrung by
yeah, a little bit. And
But again, it's that kind of thing where it's like if you've got that small budget, you don't need to do the big stuff.
yeah.
Big shot. You don't need it.
No. Duncan Jones, of course.
Yeah.
I think again though, Moon has the same thing. Moon has the longing for a loved one arc in it, which works. I
guess, but that's a 15 though, isn't it, Moon?
Is it probably?
Yeah, I think it is. I'm not checking again. I think it is. We're saying it. Duncan, come at me if it's a 12A.
If it's a 12A,
it's a 15. I'm pretty sure it is.
If it's a 12A, no, it's not.
It's not. I'm just saying it isn't.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, but then I guess every human being, broadly speaking, has someone that they love, right? So maybe it's a bit too much to say that the film shouldn't focus on that to a degree. Because if you're on a space station or a rocket on your own, you're probably going to at least think about the people you care about at some point.
True. Yeah. Actually, Sunshine doesn't do that. Sunshine, they're not that bothered.
I wondered when you were going to mention it.
I had to mention it. Sorry.
You even joked about this last night.
I was like, oh yeah. Project Hail Mary is my second favourite film about the sun dying and someone going to save it. Yeah, Sunshine has the roots of Sunshine's like philosophy is very much confined to there and now, apart from one character who is looking to go home, but you kind of don't really notice it. What I think Sunshine does well is it illustrates the enormity of certain celestial objects and how you can kind of come to understand why people 100 to 1,000 years ago worshipped the sun, because it is sort of, you could see it as a god really. You could see it as giver of the whole giver of life thing. Quick mention of Sunshine. I do think it still has that expository moments of that, and it's kind of a product of its time in the sort of like mid 2000s. But yeah, sorry, I will stop.
No.
Yeah,
it's the best time to mention it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I thought it should be mentioned. That one really didn't do well. That bombed. That can't be really be considered a blockbuster, I don't think. It came out on the hottest day of the year, so nobody's going to want to go and watch a film about the sun.
That's a tough sell, that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it came out there. That's funny.
Yeah.
What year was it?
2007. Don't need to look that up. I do know that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I have a soft spot for a lot of these films, despite the fact that pretty much all of them are flawed in one way or another.
But I wonder if we're holding them to too high a standard, because, as I say, the film, I guess you're going to have to try and connect to the characters.
Yeah.
I feel like an immediacy to a situation is enough. You can suggest enough and infer enough. But that's the sort of, as we say, the mechanics of a very different sort of storytelling beast.
Yeah.
And if the financial wallop behind that beast, is considerable, then there's going to be pressure to bow to the kind of more familiar conventions that do tend to sort of orbit around ideas of family and human connection, and in a way that both
universal themes.
In a way that both kind of accentuates the sort of feelings of inadequacy for the human race, whilst also shoring up the stuff that matters to all of us. We don't have to be astronauts to miss our family, but I guess if you're in the vastness of space, that probably would be heightened, because it is dark and oppressive, but there is also wonderment and excitement and danger, and all of those things lend themselves wonderfully to the kind of very familiar, well-trodden, or rickety, should I say, network of blockbuster filmmaking. So perhaps it's unfair to kind of, I guess I kind of take them on an individual basis more than I do collectively, which is problematic because it can make you contradict yourself a lot. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I like Ad Astra. I like Sunshine as well.
Yeah.
I remember it quite scaring me the first time I saw it when they realised there's an extra person on the ship.
Yeah.
That really shit me up.
Yeah, the kind of creative.
Did Mark Strong?
Mark Strong as a
Man with
a burnt everything pretty
cock.
much. Yeah.
Just a burnt
including
cock.
his cock. Yeah, everything else is all right.
Do you see his cock?
No, you don't even see his face.
2 stars.
It's obscured by
Out of 50.
Yeah, that Pinbacker character in Sunshine was meant to be more interesting than I think it ended up being. He's meant to be like a religious fundamentalist who thinks that we should let the sun kill us.
Right.
And he kind of, the idea of playing God is troubling for him, and that's why he's killing the crew. I don't think it was communicated that clearly in the film,
Right.
but that was the idea behind him. The sort of Freddy Krueger makeup distracted from it a little bit, I think. But it is, it's horrible. There's a bit, his arm gets ripped off at the end of it. That's a hard 50 in that film. It's also quite difficult to show people. Because I'm like, you've got to watch this. It's like one of my favourite films. And then at the end, someone's arm gets like gelatinously like de-skinned and degloved, and you're like, and it's like near, and you kind of pause it, and there's like 5 minutes left, and I remember looking around at Hannah and being like, yeah, it's not an easy sell. But no, I love it for the reasons that it explores, the lofty ideas that it explores. I just think it's really interesting. The idea that religion and science can go hand in hand, and having faith in science, not having faith at opposing science.
Not losing faith in what. I guess, the way I would think about it is not losing faith despite the sort of cold rigidity of science.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Because I think scientists actually, there's a sort of cliche that scientists and science is
godless.
Devoid of joy.
Yeah.
And because it's observational.
Well, that's an argument that people that are sort of very religious sort of hold on to, because I guess it's the only thing they can do, right? Is, in the absence of fact, they have to kind of at least say to people of a scientific inclination, well, you have no faith. You're this kind of barren husk that's all just interested in equations and numbers. And it also works quite well when people criticise science now, particularly in the more modern age. Often with a view to furthering their own sort of agendas. People kind of present facts, or people that are purveyors of fact, or at least rigorous study, as these kind of like dogmatic, close-minded little people that like these little fortresses of knowledge and don't want anyone else to join them. It's a tremendously effective way for getting people to believe whatever shit it is you want to say. Because we live in the kind of space where people almost feel emboldened by people that can challenge hierarchies, and if you can make scientists seem like that, then you're on your way to spreading shit everywhere, aren't you?
It's sort of, you want to challenge the established order, but when a particular sect of the established order is literally just telling you what they've seen, it's quite hard to. But that doesn't mean that people can't challenge them, and it's.
The best, most. Science is all about being challenged, isn't it?
Yeah. The best thing that can happen to a scientist is to be proved wrong, apparently, according to some scientists. Not all of them.
Probably a few of them.
Brian Cox, basically. I don't know, and I think Sunshine, that it could have maybe communicated that idea a little bit clearer, but because I've seen it like 60 times, I kind of get it now.
Yeah.
Just got to watch it 60 times, man.
But then again, I'm a big fan of leaving things out, inferring it.
And it does infer.
I think that you've got to have. I think it boils down to having just a bit more faith. And I just don't think blockbuster storytelling has a great deal of faith in the intelligence of its audience, and that's fundamentally why I'll always be slightly perturbed by these films, because I'm always thinking, look, obviously I don't have a degree in astrophysics. I fucking don't know the first thing about it. I'm happy to accept that, and I'm happy to accept that I'm going to have to be spoon-fed a little bit of it just to get me along the way. But I don't want like a 15-minute scene of some fridge with shit legs going. It's just sorry.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair enough. I think it's difficult, isn't it? Because how do you deliver when it's
Oh yeah, and I don't envy people that have that.
the job
Job,
of
yeah.
how do I effectively deliver exposition in a scenario where there's very little characters.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like it's peeling away from the story too much either.
No, yeah. I mean, Project Hail Mary does the classroom thing.
Yeah.
And for a bit, and I was a bit like, oh, you're going to lose me here if you carry on with this. Why is the sun dying thing? And it actually handled it quite well, I thought. That bit. There was some expository stuff later on where he's kind of conversing with himself, and it's all a bit
I guess that's
he's
kind
writing stuff on a whiteboard.
Yeah,
You wouldn't fucking do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
and the kind of video logs, which I guess a defense for that would be while he's on his own.
Yeah,
that's important to the
his
kind
health,
of
yeah,
what
I
he's going to
suppose.
his health, but also you've used that to send the logs back to Earth, right?
Yeah, that is a motif that is basically the same in The Martian, also written by Drew Goddard, based on a book also written by Andy Weir.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things where I thought, like, this is just the same. Like, this is actually, from a storytelling perspective, I don't know if the book does that, but I think the book's first person. So it'd be a way of keeping some of that first person stuff in.
Okay.
It's like,
yeah.
But what? I mean, they've
Didn't
done
bother
it.
me quite as much actually in Hail Mary. If I'm being honest,
okay.
I've not seen The Martian.
The Martian does it because The Martian is alone in that.
Yeah.
That's the conceit, is he can't communicate until like halfway through the film. So you have like an hour where he's just talking to you in. Basically, there's a GoPro and he's just talking to the GoPro. That gets quite. Even for the fact that I do like The Martian a lot, I admire it, and it's one of like a comfort film, similar to Interstellar, actually. It does. It's really guilty of that exposition thing. Yeah. Luckily, I'm a botanist. He does that kind of thing, and then
okay.
yeah.
Like if people were talking to themselves, they probably wouldn't say stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you would if you're a botanist.
Maybe. I've never met a botanist, actually.
Arrogant bunch.
Really?
Don't know.
Scientists. What are they like?
Yeah.
Should we venture forth to Hail Mary?
Oh God, yeah, we're 40.
Ooh,
Well, actually, it won't matter because you might cut some of this out. If I go, "Bleh!" You might cut that out. Who
I'm
knows?
keeping it in. Actually, I'm not because it's peaking.
But turn it down.
Turn it down. I'll turn it down.
Keep it in. So, all being well,
All being well, it'll sound like
48
this.
minutes. Yeah, 48 minutes, 50 seconds, and we've not even mentioned the film. We've just been waffling.
Yeah. Sorry if your stereo speakers in your car got burst or blown, by the way. What was that?
Oh no! Cinebois Cinemen related car crash. We've had several. You were just like, this is shit. I can't handle these two twats' opinions anymore.
Just like, I know I'm not meant to go on my phone on the motorway, but I really have to.
Yeah.
I really have to change this. So I'd guess from our sort of previous the discussions, you might have guessed our opinions on Project Hail Mary. I mean, I have had largely very positive reaction to it. I do love the fact that it was not an original film, but not part of a franchise.
Yeah.
And it was, the cinema was packed, as I said, and it's doing good business. And it's the kind of film that I recommended it to my nephew. I thought maybe not the younger one, but I was like, they'll love it. Like, yeah. I mean, it's not often that I recommend a 2-hour, 40-minute movie to them because it's hard to find any that. But like, this is really like a kind of family endeavor, and it's the kind of film I remember going to watch with like my parents when I was their age, and like really getting bowled over. So yeah,
it has the spirit of Spielberg about it.
Yeah. Definitely.
I think Phil Lord, keep doing that. Phil Lord and Chris Miller wield Spielbergian charm.
They do, yeah.
Well, I think they do, broadly speaking, a pretty good job of that in terms of taking, again, I mean, we didn't really talk about Spielberg, but, you know, he's kind of the master of grounding lofty sci-fi in the family.
Yeah.
I guess it's because he stays pretty much exclusively with the family. And the kind of exterior sci-fi stuff is sort of omnipresent but never oppressive.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, early Spielberg, that's his wheelhouse, isn't it? But yeah, I felt that it had that kind of exuberance, that optimism. And it was
hugely
hard,
optimistic.
and it was hard not to be sort of bowled over by that because it was done well.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah, I think the kind of broadly speaking, it's about, you know, connecting, isn't it? Connecting with people, connecting with others, be they sentient rocks or, you know, people you are sort of encouraged by powers that be and the vast influence to dislike because of geopolitical reasons. You know, it was no coincidence to me that a lot of the collaborating forces on this big science project were, quote, you know, geopolitical enemies. You know, you've got Americans working with the Chinese. There's Russians there as well. You know, these are, you know, the big three, right? They're constantly jostling for sort of global superiority. And as a result of that, we get fed a lot of stuff about how we should hate them and how immoral they all are and all that kind of shit. It was, yeah, like I said, didn't seem like it wasn't a coincidence to me that that was, you know, a big thing.
Yeah.
And the fact they were sharing, not just sharing knowledge, but humanity, warmth, togetherness, joking with each other.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought the film handled that really well.
The best scene in the film is a scene on the boat with the party, I thought.
Yeah, it was really good.
And that scene encapsulates exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah.
In various ways, including a very nice karaoke moment.
Yeah. I actually quite like that.
Yeah, it was a good moment.
That's coming from someone who doesn't really like karaoke.
Fair.
But no, yeah, I thought that was broadly speaking the message. What I particularly admired about it was there were two things. I thought that it obviously set its stall out very early on the kind of film it was going to be.
Yeah.
But it had some slight deviations from that in terms of the way it handled. The narrative was more fragmented than I was expecting it to be.
Yes.
And there was, we mentioned the cynicism, a little bit of it. That was there too.
Yeah.
Mostly through the kind of lens of the reluctant hero archetype, which I thought both Gosling and the film more broadly did really, really well.
Yeah, definitely. There's a scene where you kind of expect there to be a moment where he... Yeah, spoilers, definitely. You expect there to be a moment where back on Earth, before he's gone on the mission, Ryan Gosling's character... what's his name? Grace. Yeah, Ryland Grace, I think. You know, no, again, Catholic sort of theme running throughout this.
Yeah.
Project Hail Mary, Grace. It's but there's basically a moment where you think he's going to rise to the challenge, and he's like, "All right, I'll do it. I'll do it for humanity," and he never does, and he gets sedated, forced into it. Yeah. So he never. So the cowardice which you think he's going to overcome, actually, you realise you've been watching him overcome it slowly on the ship, not beforehand. And that was a really clever, not particularly clever, but like a really surprising way of dealing with that. I thought the theme.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was really taken aback by that moment because, again, you know, I'm the same as you. I'm not going to go, oh, it was, you know, mate. But, you know, we're talking about a narrative framework that is, you know, been buggered to, you know, high heaven by a very certain genre.
Yeah.
You know, or nostalgia baiting. So it's, you know, if we sound like we're putting too much praise on it to something which is arguably quite familiar, you'd be right. But it's because of we've been starved of these kinds of films for so long. And, you know, I just think, you know, I am going to praise it for that because it's interesting. You know, the reluctant hero as an archetype, Marvel done it to death. You know, people do it. It's a blockbuster staple, but it's so often such an afterthought. Whereas here, it's kind of hardwired into the narrative in a way that you don't realise until it reveals itself. And I just thought that was it actually was quite impactful. And it ties into the subtle cynicism that the film has, because it is fundamentally very optimistic.
Well, the ending is arguably too optimistic.
I thought so. Yeah.
but yes,
you know, the bit where what's her name, the actress?
Sandra Hüller.
Yeah. Interesting. I think that's the first American film she's been in, right?
It is, first English language film. Yeah.
What a great actress she is. But
brilliant.
But you know, it's she kind of says, well, you know, we've got the Earth's got what 30 years. That's if we share.
Yeah,
and we're not going to share. So there's this kind of admission that, again, that human beings are wrapped up in their own wants and needs, and the society that we live in is about wants and needs, and certain countries can control the wants and needs a lot better than others. And that way it would inspire geopolitical turmoil. You know, and I thought that was a nod. It was a nod enough, you know, to kind of it added a sense of jeopardy jeopardy to the kind of to the story, because you can't trust humanity to kind of think outside of its own wants and needs, which again is offset nicely by the grand and unknowableness of the kind of space that surrounds Gosling and the little rock fella.
Yeah.
I thought that worked really well.
There's a moment as well of like selflessness on the behalf of the Rock, which is. There are a few moments in the film which basically deal with Gosling's relationship with this alien creature. It's quite a cutesy character. Rocky, yeah. It's the mascot. It's the cutesy character, and it teeters on the edge of saccharine. But this bit, I think, out of all of those scenes, there's a fair few. There's a few goodbye moments. There's a few will they survive, won't they survive moments. But the one that really worked for me was the one where the rock alien gives up resources in order for Grace to be able to make it home selflessly, and his reaction. I think Gosling's performance in that moment, really quite touching. Like when he sort of. Before he hugs him, that kind of brings it back down to the realm of comedy. But there's a really nice moment before that where he's sort of breaking down, and it's really nice. And it was just really well handled, I thought, anyway. It won't be for everyone. That might kind of, that might be sort of unacceptably sweet for some. But for me, I was like, no, I like that. That was really nice, that bit.
I think by that point, you're pretty much on board with what the film... Well, you whether you are or you're not, that's the way the film's going to be.
Yeah.
I thought, I think going back to that relationship, which is so central thematically and obviously narratively, a lot of the laughs are supposed to come from that.
Yes.
That was probably the film's most inconsistent area for me.
Yeah.
And, we talk about how we're kind of starved of these kind of films. I don't know. I also feel that the film struggles to separate from the quippiness, blockbuster quippiness. I am fucking sick of it. I'm sick of quippiness, like either lines that don't suit the characters or irony or all this sort of stuff. I'm bored of it. Yeah, and I don't care if it's a cute rock who's quite nice who gives him fuel. I don't want the jokes.
Yeah,
I want something bad to happen.
I want a humorless rock.
Yeah, I want just a rock. No,
but you know
what I mean. I just think it does so well to escape the trappings of the kind of drudgery, CGI drenched drudgery that we've. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of CGI in this film, but
it's quite. I want to talk about that though. To be fair,
the effects. There's more craft and care, and it's beautifully shot. It's really well shot film.
Greg Fraser,
yeah. But I just felt that there's some hang-ups. And I think the humour was the biggest hangover.
Yeah.
Would
percentage-wise, how many of those
70-30?
Yeah, I was about to say around that. Yeah, maybe
30%. There was a couple of times I actually, I laughed. Well, could you believe it? Me, I'm such a hard-edged critic. But there's a lot of the times where I was like, I've heard, this is familiar. This is
people around us were laughing, and I was there like,
fair enough. You're all fucking idiots.
You stupid.
Get a sense of humour.
Shh. I'm trying to watch the film. Stop laughing.
Oh, I bet you like Michael McIntyre as well, don't you? You fuckers. Jack Black's hilarious, actually. He's really funny. He's really, really funny in the Minecraft film. He's really funny when he sings a song about the Minecraft. Do you know what I mean? Like,
It did have that. It had that edge about it, and edge is the wrong word. It was sort of a rounded corner, really. I agree with you. I think that,
and that's weird because those two are quite good at usually doing, funny. I mean,
broad comedy, but comedy nonetheless.
Yeah,
their background is definitely in comedy.
Yeah,
and I thought the Lego Movie was quite funny because it's sort of. Consider the fact it was a children's movie, I could watch that. I went to see that with Lee in Falmouth. I was like, I quite like that. It was fun.
But that's what I mean. It might not always necessarily work for me, but broadly speaking. But then I guess a lot of people thought this film was really funny. So I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but
it could have been funnier.
Yeah, I think they could have lent into some sensibilities that I just think there's a real that kind of quippy false irony. Yeah. Stop doing that. This is weird now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
the roommate bit, the whole bit they did about I got a roommate, and it's the alien rock, and he's just like, he won't give me any personal space, and it's meant to be relatable and charming, and it's sort of, I don't know, that fell really flat for me. That was where I was like, this is like sitcom territory now, and I don't think it's working. But some people behind me thought it was working, and that's fine. Like that, maybe I just need to loosen up a bit, but or maybe I just like different comedy. And you know, that's why Michael McIntyre still sells out Wembley Arena.
Does he?
I reckon he would. Yeah, he's got enough. I had a couple of his DVDs back in the day.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. And Russell Howard. I used to like my taste in comedy has used to be very different, and it's changed. I quite like how that it's more. I'm more like Sean Locke now. I quite like that's happened to me. It's sort of a watershed moment. I was like, oh, these guys are actually like. That's it. That's what the film needed. I think that the film needed more like dry humour. I think that would have really made it work more.
Because that's kind of what Gosling's quite good at.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's very good at that.
Like, it's kind of the guardrails were on the humour. I thought. I felt a lot.
I could feel him saying those lines from the script. They didn't feel very genuine.
No.
And that's hard when you're alone on a spacecraft but you know, nonetheless, I know he wasn't in a real spacecraft.
What?
You touched on the effects. I thought visually, really stunning, quite interesting techniques they used. And I know this is part of the marketing, and I know that they absolutely did use heavy visual effects in addition to the puppetry, which they seem to be very keen on bringing to the forefront. There were at least 50% of those Rocky shots were computer generated. I was very close to the screen, like, believe me, like they were. They weren't bad. They were really well done.
Yeah, it looked good. Yeah.
When you have to remove a puppeteer, you have to remove 50% of the creature as well, because it's got rods attached to it. At that point, you might as well replace the whole thing, and that's exactly what they did. But it's for the foundation is in reality, and so it does look very good. From
a performance point of view for Gosling,
definitely.
As well, I assume.
Apparently, sometimes his children were there, and he was actually reacting to his kids, which is quite sweet.
Oh.
Maybe again part of the marketing, I don't know, but that's what he said in a press junket. Anyway, could be true. Maybe not. Don't know.
Yeah.
It'd
be very much in line with the film's kind of sentiments, wouldn't it?
I thought the way they shot the spacecrafts were really interesting. It was like there was a camera operator floating there, and it took him a while to realise they were moving.
Right.
So it was like, they're going that way now. I quite admired that. I thought that was quite an interesting way to deal with. Better than the kind of graceful slowness that a lot of the
sort of,
including Sunshine, actually.
Everyone after Kubrick film, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Everything post 2001.
Yeah, and I admired the difference in cinematography in that way, and that kind of like, it's going over there, and some beautiful moments when he's outside the spacecraft, being bombarded with infrared energy. I quite like that moment.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Again, maybe because we were really close to the screen. But yeah, just a quick shout out from a visual point of view. It was like they transferred it to film, so it was digitally shot.
Oh, they did that with what's the fucking Bob Dylan film?
A Complete Unknown.
Did the same with that.
Yeah, because they want the warmth, the granularity. Yeah. I could see it at a moments. I was like, this is like
shooting film then.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Did think that. Like, you've got enough money.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of reason.
Well, it's getting harder and harder, isn't it?
It is. All the labs are closing, and you want to be able to watch it back, I suppose, on the day. So yeah, there we go. Ending, aforementioned ending. It like really, it felt like it belonged in a different film. Certainly the last thing that happens is a gag, and they really could have done without that. I thought, like, leave them at Durdle Door just on the beach, that would have been fine. It's Durdle Door, by the way.
Definitely Durdle Door?
Yeah, that's Durdle Door.
That's funny, that. They
filmed it in like Portsmouth and stuff.
Oh, really?
A lot of this. Yeah, there's a lot of United Kingdom locations in this. And they Shepperton Studios for all the spacecraft things. It's all in the UK. This is crazy. Yeah. But yeah, but the ending is, it doesn't detract from the experience, but
No.
I was like, it left you in a kind of happy, clappy positivity, but didn't feel earned sort of way. I was like, I kind of don't know how I feel about the ending.
Whatever. Yeah, I just,
It kind of felt like it had to be there. You're like, okay, well, whatever. It's 12A.
Yeah.
So $500+ million made so far, I guess. Whatever. Like, it's charming to some.
not for me. No, I agree.
There we go.
It was the kind of apex of the sugary sweetness.
Yeah,
wasn't it? That I wasn't as hot.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the kind of the realization of the kind of and the, I guess the kind of emotional and spiritual growth of the reluctant hero is strong enough.
Yeah.
I thought the themes of human connectivity, despite all of the bullshit, was good. I don't know. I think it was always going to be. He was always going to have that kind of humor in because, like I say, it's a blockbuster, and even Nolan has it. Not quite as quippy though. Nolan's humor.
No, there's like one or two maybe in there.
He's very selective, isn't he?
You could feel like he probably fought to remove the other 4 or 5. Kind of
yeah.
None in Dunkirk. That's annoying. Where's all the quips?
Yeah, where's the jokes in Dunkirk?
Where's the jokes in Dunkirk? Yeah.
Done with some jokes.
Yeah.
Ooh, being bombed.
Yeah, some.
Oh, I didn't sign up for this today.
Yeah.
The kind of Hail Mary style humour.
Drowning.
Should we hug now?
Yeah, drowning in the frigid ocean. Oh my god.
Here's me thinking the French water was supposed to be warm. Where's the rock? Where's the rock? Stuka killed him, all right?
Sea mine.
Yeah. I again, though, happy to admit I'm a cynical shit. So, but broadly speaking, it was hard not to be bowled over by it. I think in large part because of the fact we've been starred, as you say, of films that are quote-unquote original properties.
Just exciting ones you can get in the slipstream.
Yeah, and they don't feel tethered to anything too much. Again, the humour definitely tethered to what's come before it in the last 10 years, which is, for us, a problem, I think.
Yeah.
But broadly speaking, the emotional arc and the broader messages resonate well enough and are executed with earnestness.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is, again, missing.
Yeah. And a real sense of jeopardy as well. There were moments where I was like, I actually don't know what's going to happen next, and I'm engaged in the story for that reason. There's an explosion that comes out of nowhere. I was like, oh Christ, okay, you've sort
killed off loads of scientists.
Yeah, right, okay. And I know that's then serves the plot.
Yeah, because I was wondering how they were going to get him on. I didn't see the kind of fact that he was refused, but I thought, well, there's a lot of scientists here.
Yeah.
What happens? And they went there with that. Which they went there.
They went there.
Did you believe
They
it?
went there. I can't believe they just did that.
I can't believe it. Oh my god, a chicken jockey.
Oh God.
That's worth throwing my friend under the bus for. 17 more of those films, please. Kyle, I don't know you anymore.
Maybe they'll shoot the next one in IMAX. Fingers crossed.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe Nolan will do it.
Minecraft 2.
Yeah. Imagine.
Oh, can you imagine that? That would be such a boring... I mean, to be fair, it can't be any worse than the first one.
What
Sweeping cityscape.
What a scenario. Yeah. Anyway. Outro?
Yeah.
Questing the cinematic void.
Well, there we have it then.
Yeah.
Project Hail Mary. I mean, I don't know if I was surprised by it, but I'm glad I've seen it. I'm going to recommend it to a fair few people. Not to everyone, but...
Who would you not recommend it to?
Actually, I don't know. I don't know if... I don't think my cousin would like it. Not for him.
Yeah, knew you'd say that.
Yeah. But everyone else.
Is he a listener?
He has listened to some. Yeah. Hello, James. Don't go and see Project Hail Mary. It's not for you.
Not for you, James.
And when I see it, I'm seeing him next weekend, or this weekend actually, and he's going to say, "I've seen it, I've loved it." I just know. I just know that's going to happen.
Then you've got egg all over your face.
Yep. What are we doing next week?
We've planned our next two films, and they couldn't be any more different in classic Cinebois style, darting around the kind of landscape, the ethereal plane,
the choppy waters.
Michael.
Yes, based on a controversial figure, Michael Jackson. I
hate musical biopics.
Yes, I really
I hate them.
I don't think I've liked a single one.
No,
actually.
it's from the same. They're very keen to put it in the promotional material.
Yeah,
same producer as Bohemian Rhapsody.
I know,
and I don't like Queen either. Really, that much. I think the English public ruined them. Not that I was ever, I probably, scared to say that, because saying that in England is basically the same as telling someone you've backed over their dog's head in the driveway.
It's a death sentence, yeah. But all of us
we're going to why next week.
We all shared the same opinion.
Yeah, everyone. I was like, Queen.
Small sect of young boys who were like, I don't know if I like Queen. I was like, oh my God, I'm not a huge fan either, yeah.
Maybe because we were subjected to it. I mean, I remember liking it and dancing to it as a kid.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's bad music at all. I think it's catchy. I think Bohemian Rhapsody, that song, I'm like really confused.
But the film looked wank.
Yeah.
So I'm going to watch that. I'm also going to watch the Elton John film as well.
Oh yeah, I didn't mind that actually. It wasn't.
I just feel like I think this could be one of those episodes where it's kind of like Minecraft adjacent, and I'm just going to be like, this was shite.
Yeah, I mean, also
I like Fuqua though. When he's good, he's good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Say that about anything, couldn't you? But he's a very,
he's a safe pair of hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't he do
Equalizer?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we've done a Fuqua before,
and he, most popular episode, as we mentioned a lot.
If
expensive looking like we're really proud.
I bet you Michael will be popular actually as well.
Controversy around him as well, as you say.
Completely.
It's funny, just quickly, I was at a meal with some friends recently, and there were still people sticking up for him.
Yep, I've had that as well. It's really strange because it's like so blatantly obvious. Like,
maybe I need to do some research.
No, man.
Maybe I need to, really get into the minutiae of it. But
I know we try to sort of stray away from this kind of stuff, but like, come on, it is just like so obvious that he was.
If your music's good though, you get away with it.
Yeah, man. Even in this day,
it's crazy that it's coming out. Intrigued. Wonder if they'll mention it. Probably not. I saw there's a CGI chimp in it. Maybe that gets molested.
Maybe, yeah. I just
who knows? Yeah. Bubbles. What happened to him? Still alive, apparently.
What
the chimp?
The chimp? Really?
I think so. Can I Google that?
They need to interview him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Bubbles the chimp.
He must have. Did he live a long time?
Oh no, he died. Oh no, he's still alive. Yeah, he's 42, 43. Born in Austin, Texas.
Man, that's crazy.
Once kept as a pet by American singer Michael Jackson, who bought him from the Texas Research Facility in 1980s.
Yeah. I mean,
drank tea with the mayor of Osaka. Apparently,
fair enough.
In Japan, yeah. Wonder what he's up to now. He's moved to the Center for Great Apes in Wauchula, Florida, where he has lived since 2005.
Oh wow, fair enough.
So yeah, get someone out there. Louis Theroux perhaps can interview him.
That would be good.
Yeah,
I'll be up for that. I don't think I'm going to be up for watching this film.
No, I said it to you, and your face dropped, and I don't see your face drop often. But
yeah, I mean, I'm not like a super fan of his music either as well, so that doesn't help. I like Thriller and I like the music
Man in the
video.
Mirror.
Yeah, they're good. I think I prefer. I generally tend to lean more towards female vocalists anyway, and the kind of I find even though his voice was clearly incredible, like I find the screechiness of it quite difficult to stomach. I'm looking. No, not for me.
No, Michael. Leave the chimp alone.
No, Fuqua. With regards to the controversy as well, apparently they reshot the third act because of some legal disputes with the estate. So,
interesting.
Yeah. Surrounding Jordan Chandler, I believe,
right,
and his that aspect of the story. So I believe initially they were going to touch on the controversy and the allegations, and I hope they haven't strayed away from it because it's so crucial to that story and would make for a more interesting film, I think. But yeah, we'll see.
The trailer didn't seem to focus on that. I mean, it's
It's all about the music.
It's a weird thing to put in the trailer.
It would be
to
an odd
fair.
thing. Yeah.
Chimp made it in there though, so
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
yeah, can't wait.
Yeah.
After that,
Yes, Mark Jenkins.
it's weird to mention those two films in the same breath. Well, not breath,
Rosen of Nevada.
very much looking forred to that.
Yes.
So we have the Falmouth connection.
Yeah, so we're doing Fuqua for the second time and Jenkin for the second time. Yeah.
Looking forward to that. Very good.
Man, be good.
Right. In the meantime, thank you as always for getting to the end of the ep.
Nice. Thank you
Enjoyed
very
that.
much.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah. Enjoyed it just fine.
Well oiled. I mean, underneath the shirt. Take it easy. Look after yourself. And we'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Cheers.
Bye.